Jackall Japan wants you to play with their bung. The return of a classic in new colors from Lucky Craft, and the US release of the Japan only offering from Daiwa in the new Stees and the new Alphas. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of Megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Depths, Lucky Craft, Jackall, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of Megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of Megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard to find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben Kohler, the Hookup Tackle, aka the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being filmed by my buddy Jeffrey the King. We are the Hookup Tackle USA. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle, where we highlight new items that have arrived as well as important restocks, so you can stay on top of everything coming in, catch more fish. Ready, Jeff?
I am absolutely ready.
Let's do it. So, this week we are going to start with Lucky Craft. We don't start with Lucky Craft very often.
We never do.
We're going to mix it up a little bit. So, pretty big week from Lucky Craft. We see some new additions. We see some JDM Trout additions, which is going to become a theme here over the next few episodes, or probably over the next few months, because that's really a hot trend in Japan. We also see return of some classics. So let's dive right in. So, let's start with a new colorway in their most popular lipless, and I would say probably the most popular lipless in the world. This is the Lucky Craft LV500. This is a brand new limited release color. This is Ghost Minnow Silver Cheek. Now, this is a subtle little tweak on the best-selling color, Ghost Minnow. So if you guys have been around bass fishing at all, you know Ghost Minnow. You know it's probably one of the most natural color profiles there is. Lucky Craft wanted to basically take it and just tweak it a little bit. As you can see, they put some prism foil on the cheek, thus the name, as well as kind of made a silver fin. This does a couple different things. In clear water, where you're normally throwing Ghost Minnow, it's going to give just a little bit of flash. So it's going to tweak the color just a little bit, just to provide a little more body. It's also going to give the illusion of two different profiles. So remember, as this is going through the water, it's moving very quick. It's really vibrating fast. So you're going to get the full-size profile of the bait for fish that are feeding on, you know, normal shad and craws and bait fish, but you're also going to get that smaller profile of just the flash for fish that are feeding on smaller bait, little minnows, fry, that kind of stuff. So just a cool tweak. I'm really digging it. We've launched it on Instagram yesterday and we've sold a ton. So not sure exactly if this is going to become a core color at some point, but for now it's a limited release. So excited to get that in. Check that out from Lucky Craft, Ghost Minnow Silver Cheek. Also this week, we see a return of one of our favorite jerk baits, the Slender Pointer. Now, Slender Pointer, if you guys aren't familiar with the Slender Pointer, shame on you. Jeff and I did a Lucky Craft jerkbait breakdown video not too long ago where we go through the entire lineup. Jeff will put it right here, the link, if you'd like to check it up. Did I?
Yeah, that was actually perfect.
I touched it in the right place?
Oh, yeah,
That's
you're
what
in
she
it.
said. So, we see a return of our favorite colors in the Slender Pointer 97. Ghost Minnow, Chartreuse Shad, BE Gill. A lot of you guys have been waiting on these to return. They arrive. Now, at one point in time, Lucky Craft had like 3,000 colors in Slender Pointer, and then they all just vanished, right? So this is an encouraging sign that we're seeing the core colors come back. It's still a very limited color run, but at least they're good colors. So check those out, the 97 as well as the 112, and we also see a couple colors showing back up in the Slender 127 that we haven't had in a very long time. So if you're not familiar with the Slender Pointer and you don't want to watch the video, shame on you. Basically, the Slender Pointer is a great grass jerkbait. It's great for shallow water, keeping it over cover, ticking the tops of grass. That's really where it shines. So if you guys are fishing really shallow water and don't need your bait to get very deep, the Slender Pointer is a no-brainer for you. Also, we see, in addition to our #1 selling pointer in the Pointer 100, this is the color NC Bora. Now, not only do we see the return of this color, this is one of the few full matte finishes that Lucky Craft makes. It's this beautiful kind of matte shad watermelon pattern. So that is back in stock this week in the 100. They've also added the Pointer 65 in this color. It's the first time that we have had the Pointer 65 in the NC Bora. So this is a great 1-2 punch, obviously for a full size, offering when they're feeding on full shad and need something nice and loud, and then a smaller, more finesse option, or a trout option even, new from Lucky Craft. We also see, kind of staying in the jerkbait realm, we see a pretty good expansion of colors this week in the Pointer 100 DDs and XDs. So I know a lot of you guys who fish like the Great Lakes and some of the bigger smallmouth water, you guys trash them on the DDs and the XDs, the deep diving and the extra deep diving Pointer 100s. So they've been listening. They have expanded the color lineup in both. So check those out. There's a bunch more offerings now in those. I think you guys are gonna be really happy with that. All right, staying in the jerkbait realm for a minute with Lucky Craft, but going the opposite direction in size, we see the introduction of one of Lucky Craft's best-selling trout jerkbaits. This is the Humpback Minnow 50 SP. Now, this guy is 50 millimeters long. Let's just spec it out for you real quick. 50 millimeters long, which is roughly 2 inches. It's an 1/8 ounce. It's designed to have a dive of 1 to 4 feet, depending on the line. Now, it's also designed to suspend in 42 to 46 degrees. So if it's much warmer than that, you may get a little bit of a slow sink. If it's much colder, it might rise a little bit on you. So play with it, play with the line, but it's a great little finesse jerkbait from Lucky Craft. It can be fished as a crankbait, so if you just want to cast it and swim it in, you can, and that's how a lot of these trout baits work. But this is one of the few little finesse trout baits that you can actually twitch and jerk like a jerkbait, and it will work. What's cool about these is that they made them in all the normal Lucky Craft bass colors. So if you wanted to use this for smallmouth or largemouth or crappie or whatever you want to do, you can get it in shell white, you can get it in ghost minnow, you can get it in ghost rainbow, all the colors you're used to. So check that little dude out. This is something that I've been really digging and getting into, these tiny baits, so I think you guys will like that from Lucky Craft. Also, we see an expansion of colors in another little bait from Lucky Craft. This is the Areas Spinnerbait. Now, if you hang around our Instagram at all, you know that we're a big fan of this bait. We see some new color introductions. We see a Table Rock Shad. We see a Matte Tiger. We see a Pike color. We also see MS Japan Shad. This is just a tiny spinnerbait, again, designed for trout, but it's an amazing little spinnerbait for any species that's looking for a tiny offering. It's available in an 1/8 ounce and 3/16 ounce. It's a lead body that's painted to the color. It comes with a treble hook, and it comes with a very unique kind of teardrop-shaped blade on a ball-bearing swivel. This can fish just like a normal spinnerbait where you cast and wind it in, and it has a very hard thump. But this teardrop also will flutter on the fall, so you can kind of do a lift and drop and allow it to go, and it really catches them. Jeff and I threw this around in just a little urban little bass spot the other day, and they were smoking it. So definitely check it out if you guys are looking for a very small finesse spinnerbait option. It's a great one from Lucky Craft. That's the Areas. All right, staying on that JDM Japan Trout vibe for a minute, we see a new offering from Ima Japan. I should say new to us. This is one of the most popular little trout baits in Japan. This is the Ima Issen 45S Max. Now the S stands for sink, so this guy is going to sink on the paws. This is an amazing little crankbait. Now I know it looks kind of like a jerkbait, but this guy is very special. It is made in Japan. You can see it's very flat and very high. So what this guy does is as you retrieve, it has a super wide flash to it, and it almost looks like there's two baits instead of one bait because of how it moves and how it flashes. So it has a very hard vibration. They can feel it. It's not noisy, right? So it's not going to create any sound that's going to scare them, but they can really feel the vibration coming through. They see that kind of 2-in-1 look. It's just a really cool little bait. So hopefully we can keep a good supply of these coming. I know you guys are going to tear it up on this thing. Size 14 hooks, 4 grams is what that guy's gonna weigh. So pretty similar to everybody else's. It's like 1/8 of an ounce, roughly. So you guys should be able to throw it no problem on your BFS gear or light spin. So yeah, check that out, new from Ima Japan. We also see, brand new from Ima Japan, the Ima Terra Crankbait. So this is the little-bodied crankbait, again, designed for trout, but could definitely be deadly for anything you want it to be used for that needs a small profile. So there's 2 sizes here. There's 3 gram and a 3.8 gram. They're both 40 millimeters long. And essentially, this little dude is gonna dive down into anywhere from like that 1 to 4 foot, maybe 4 foot might even be pushing it, but that's probably the max. It's got a very high pitch rattle inside that when it hits, it really pops. So they're gonna hear that rattle, but then when it deflects off the bottom or deflects off rocks, you really hear it kind of pop and come to life. It's just a very unique crankbait. Looks great in the water, sounds great. So if you need something that's got a little more body that the fish can hear, definitely check that out from Ima. Jeff, are you staring at my bung?
Mm-hmm. I'm staring right at it.
You always stare at my bung.
It's so pretty.
It is pretty. Multiple colors, even.
It's small, but
yeah, I like small bungs. And if you like small bungs too, check out the brand new offering from Jackall Japan. This is, you guessed it, the Bung. Now, if you're wondering, what the f is this thing? I was wondering the same thing too when I saw it, so I had to get it in and try it. And as stupid as this is, I mean, it's funny. Every time I pick this up and look at it, it actually works. I know a lot of you guys are in a similar situation to us. In the wintertime, we get stockings of trout in our urban lakes, and sometimes we just need to go kill an hour or two and go fish for them. And it's great to be able to catch them on all these fancy, the great hunting, the Lucky Craft and all that stuff. But sometimes, a stock trout's just used to seeing pellets fall from the sky. And it's hard to really imitate that with anything on a conventional side. So Jackall, their trout brand is called Timon. They created basically a fake pellet designed for guys throwing spinning rods and BFS gear called the Bung. So it is available in a couple different sizes in the Bung. And then if you don't like tiny bungs like Jeff, you like big bungs, there's also a Deka bung. So you could go tiny bung or big bung. So essentially, if you guys are wondering what the hell is this thing, this is a bung. And I'm gonna try to move it slow because it's small. I wanna make sure it focuses here. But it looks kind of like a Lego. So it's a flat kind of plate shape here where this hook kind of sits on top, right? And there is a magnet and a little tungsten weight in this little piece down here that will cause this to just sink just straight down. So it lands in the water and then it literally just sinks down like a pellet falling from the sky, or power bait falling from the sky, or whatever. So this is basically our conventional ability to use something for those types of fish. Now, it doesn't have to just be for trout. A lot of you guys fish for carp and different things as well. So it could be something fun to play with. If you guys have those types of conditions, want to try it, give it a shot. Ton of colors, different weights again, so check that out, new from Jackall. All right, staying on Jackall for a minute, we see 5 new colors show up in the new Jackall Rerange 110 MR. So this is the medium runner Rerange 110. It's gonna get down about 3 feet deeper than the original Rerange. So if you guys are Rerange fans, which a lot of you guys are, and you've been looking for that MR, they released a couple colors early, and now all the colors are starting to show. So those are available now. We also see 2 new colors in the Rerange 130 from Jackall Japan. So we have Red Tiger and we have Chartreuse Back Pearl. Let's see if I can get those to show. How do those look, Jeff?
I can see the bellies of them pretty well.
Are you looking at my jerkbait or
okay,
my bung?
hold it right there, dude.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So definitely check those out. They're brand new colors from Japan. Right now, just in the 130. We should hopefully see them in the 110 pretty soon as well, but new from Jackall. We also see a restock this week from Jackall Japan on the RV Lashour. So this is the elastic type Finesse frog. We brought these in maybe a month or so ago. They sold out right away. They are back in stock in all colors, especially the key colors like Grape on Bug and the whites and that kind of stuff. So definitely check those out. Those are back in stock. And Excited to get new colors this week in the RV Drift Fry. So we see flashing Wakasagi, we see flashing bait, we see sight chartreuse. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Drift Fry, this is the new kind of finesse minnow from Jackall Revoltage. So it has a built-in soft plastic lip where if you put this on a little ball head, it will cause the bait to kind of have a very finesse-y, tight, almost crankbait type action, and then that tail is back there just very finesse-y, kind of quivering depending on what you're doing. So you can drop shot this bait. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot of movement to get that tail to move. You can put it on a ball head and you can just cast and wind it and it will have that little crankbait action. You can twitch it and dart it around. It'll move side to side. It's just a very versatile bait, available in 3 brand new colors now from Jackall Japan. All right, new this week from Mibro Japan, a brand new crankbait to their lineup. We see the introduction of the Mibro Cheater. Now this is a 56 millimeter long, 9.6 gram flat build crankbait. So it's designed to conquer that 3 to 6 foot range. It's something, I think I said flat build, didn't I?
You did say flat bill.
Yeah, so it is not a hat. It is a flat-sided crankbait. Man, where were you, Jeff? Looking out for me?
I kind of just went with it.
Yeah, you're staring at my bung, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Get it out of your head, Jeff.
I can't.
This is the new flat-sided crankbait from Mibro, the Cheater. So this guy has an amazing swim to it. You can fish it slow, you can fish it fast. You know, flat-sided crankbaits are, you know, definitely in this season right now. This is the flat-sided crankbait lane. A lot of you guys have figured out how to utilize them year-round because they just flat out catch fish. Great shad imitator. It's available in a bunch of colors. Mibro makes amazing crankbaits, so if you guys like throwing flat-sided crankbaits, definitely check that dude out. New this week from Evergreen Japan, we see another new soft plastic offering. This is the Evergreen C4 Shrimp. Now this is a 2.8 inch multi-segmented ribbed shrimp. So you can see that it's got kind of a main body piece and then a mid piece, and then it's got a couple of appendages that come off here. See if we can get it to show. And it's ribbed, so this guy's gonna have lots of movement, even though it's gonna be subtle movement. And then these ribs are going to trap a little air. They're going to create a little vibration. So this is going to be an excellent, very finessey bait to add to the back of a finesse jig. I know a lot of you guys are really hip on the little tiny jigs, those little K-Tech jigs, little Valleyhill jigs. This would be a great little trailer for that. It would also be a great little nose hook drop shot bait. So a little finesse presentation in there. It's going to look great underwater. So that's new from Evergreen Japan. That is the C4 Shrimp, available in a ton of colors, so check those out now. All right, a couple new offerings, new for us this week, offerings from Sunline Japan. So a few weeks ago, we brought you guys the Valkyrie D-Braid, which is the new braid out in Japan from Sunline. This is back in stock in all the key sizes, the 13 pound, the 15 pound, the 19 pound. If you guys aren't familiar, if you missed that episode on the Valkyrie D-Braid, D-Braid is a brand new concept. See if you guys can see it on the back there. It basically, this was designed by Marizo Shimizu to be the perfect spinning braid. So it has a structured core to it that allows the braid to be just slightly stiffer than the other Sunline braids, which will eliminate wind knots, twisting, you know, some of the common problems with lighter braids in spinning rods. The other thing is that all the PE fibers are designed to have a specific gravity. So they're going to be slow sinking fibers so that they will help your line maintain the right angle to stay in contact with your bait, more sensitivity versus a floating braid that kind of has that big, kind of long bubble to it down to your bait. It's available in a high-vis pink in several sizes. This week we see the introduction to the complementary leader line from the same system. This is the Valkyrie D-Leader. Now Sunline is calling this their most premium fluorocarbon that they've ever made. So they're saying it's the highest abrasion resistance. They're saying it has the highest knot strength. It's available in all the sizes you would want as leader. Now, it is very expensive. It's 30 meters for $19.99. So it's definitely the most expensive fluorocarbon they've ever made. But If you guys are looking for the ultimate line, it might be worth giving it a shot. We'll have to go test it this week and see if it stands up to the claims. But this has worked out amazingly well. No reason to think this won't as well. So that is in from Sunline Japan. We also see this week the introduction of the Sunline Shooter FC Sniper BMS Asayaka Fluorocarbon. Now, the BMS stands for Bite Marker System, and essentially this is a multicolored fluorocarbon. It's their super high premium, lots of coating line, so it's going to manage great. It's going to manage a lot like Sniper that you're used to, but it has this multicolor to it so that you can detect very finessey bites. So they didn't want to just go a high vis because they want to keep it a finesse line. So every so often there's a different color on the line, so you can see where your line's going in the water, and those little finesse kind of pressure bites you should be able to detect, and you should be able to set before you might even feel it on your rod. So definitely check those out. New from Sunline. All right, not to be outdone by Evergreen's new shrimp offering, Megabass wanted to make sure that you had plenty of their shrimp offering. This is the bottle shrimp 2.4 inch. It arrives this week from Japan in a bunch of new colors that they haven't made in this smaller size before. If you guys aren't familiar with the bottle shrimp, this is an amazing little jig trailer. Again, it can also be a nice little finessey drop shot offering. Texas rig, it comes in a 3-inch, a 4-inch size that a lot of you guys like to flip and fish on a Texas rig, but this little size is just a great finesse jig trailer, little nose hook drop shot bait. Basically, these appendages are just gonna very finessey kind of flap through the water, creating just a subtle crawfish type look. We see it in a bunch of new colors this week: light watermelon, Kasumi green flake, Ibimizu red flake. So I think in all there's 8 brand new colors in this guy. So if you guys like little finesse crawl imitations, definitely check that out. New this week from Megabass. Also from Megabass this week, we see a return of the key colors in their most popular selling wired bait of the last year. This is the Jamaica Boa. So this guy way oversold all of their expectations for a buzzbait. It is finally back in white python. It is back in black mamba. It is back in chartreuse viper. So if you guys have been waiting for some of these key colors to come, they're back in stock now. All right, in new this week from OSP, we see color additions to our popular OSP Doe-Live Beaver lineup. I think in all there are 6 new colors available now in the OSP Doe-Live Beaver, both in the 3.5 as well as the 3-inch as well as the 4-inch. So this is just going to expand the lineup for us. So just kind of highlight some of these colors: green pumpkin chartreuse, Yoshinobori, Scuppernong blue flake, dark cinnamon blue flake, ghost shrimp, all available now in all the range of beavers. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the Doe-Live Beaver, this is one of our best-selling free rig, weightless, flip, Texas rig, kind of do everything creature baits. Now, what makes a Doe-Live Beaver different than a standard creature bait is you'll notice that the claw section is a much different shape. It kind of has this bulbous and then kind of segmented piece here. So as this thing is getting pulled down by the weight, it is creating a flapping motion that looks kind of like a crawdad scurrying away. It's designed to imitate that kind of scurry from a crawdad. But then as it's weightless, so as the weight sinks, it pulls it down. As the weight lands on the bottom, it rights itself, and then it flutters horizontally down. So it will then just kind of have this nice natural fall, just like a crawdad that's scurrying, and then all of a sudden it just kind of drifts down. So one of the most lifelike crawdad baits I've ever seen as far as motion goes. That's the Doe-Live Beaver. If you guys haven't put it in your arsenal, check out the new colors. I think you guys are gonna love it. All right, staying in crawdad style baits, Geekcrack Japan has re-released their Doe-Live Craw. This came out.
Their Doe-Live Craw?
I just want it to be a Doe-Live Craw.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate even talking about this.
I know you do.
Yeah. Man, I really insulted the Doe-Live Craw, didn't I? Geekcrack brings out their... Jeez, I can't even talk. These things are dumb. Geekcrack brings back their Bellows Craw. Happy now, Jeff?
Yes.
I know a lot of you guys like this Bellows process. I mean, Jeff is so hyped that I'm even talking about this. I should have just introduced this as Jeff's favorite brand.
it is.
Just because you know how much it angst me.
So
Angst is me. That's a word. I just said it.
Good bait.
So if you guys like this craw, we decided to bring it in all the colors. I think there's like 12 or 14 colors. We did a huge stock. So there's tons, green pumpkins, you know, light pumpkins, scuppernongs, all the colors you could possibly want.
Oh, yeah.
Have at them.
Woo!
Bellows craws, they're in stock.
Oh,
While we're on the subject of Jeff's favorite brand,
bring it on. Ooh.
Geekrack released their Gyrostar swim bait to the U.S. market. I don't know,
Look
some
at
time
that.
ago. Anyways, they only released it in like 3 or 4 colors or 5 colors. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the U.S. thing. But we decided to bring it in all the colors. So I think there's like 16 colors in total. Plus there's a 3-inch size as well as a 3.5-inch size. This is their take on a swim bait, basically. So it's kind of a harder plastic. It reminds me more of a plastic of like a Reaction Innovations. Doesn't have a lot of side-to-side motion. It's pretty tight. What that tightness allows it to do is it allows it to burn if you want to burn it. So if you're looking for a smaller bait that you can fish slow or fast, you're welcome to. This color reminds me of somebody else's color. Now, I'm not saying, you know, one knocked the other off. I'm just making a comparison. Sorry, Jeff. Didn't mean to burst your bubble.
I mean, Geekrack has always been around. So.
Okay, let's end this segment. Next. All right, new this week from Valleyhill, we see another new wallet. This is the anti-rust wallet. So wallets have become very popular for storing small packs of hooks, weights, etc. Each one of these little sleeves is basically like a little Ziploc, but it has an anti-rust agent inside of it, so you can put your hooks in there and not worry about them getting wet and not worry about them rusting, which is really nice because that has been historically one of the challenges to wallets is if you drop something wet in there, it rusts everything out. So it is available with extra sleeves as well, so you can purchase extra sleeves. You want to change them out, just a quick unscrew, pop new sleeves in there, screw it back, and it's good. So it's just a great way to store it. You can put it in your pocket, you can put it in your boat, but just keep all those small packages. So check that out from Valleyhill. All right, new this week from Daiwa, Japan. We see one of the most anticipated releases of reels, really that I've seen in a long time. So Daiwa released 3 new reels. We have 2 of the 3 here. There is a new Daiwa Steez Limited SVT Wing 1000 and a new Alphas SVT Wing. Now there is also a zillion, actually 2 zillions, but I'm not allowed to talk about that until later this month. So stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the Steez and the Alphas. So Steez Limited. We still don't really know what limited means. Can't get a solid answer from Daiwa, so it may just be a one and done production. It might be a limited release production, not sure. Jeffrey and I did a video about both of these reels. He'll put the link right here.
Yep.
Nail it again.
Yeah, you're insider.
Yeah, I did. If you want to check it out and learn more about these reels, we spec them out for you. We actually use the reels so you can see the tech working as advertised. So we'll just kind of do a little bit of reel porn here for you because they are beautiful. One thing I can tell you about the Steez is it definitely fishes smoother, quieter, throws better than any Steez that I've used. Now, I'm a big fan of the Steez A. This has a similar body, almost the identical body, but in a magnesium instead of aluminum, so it feels right in my hand. I don't know this is going to replace my Steez A for my higher pound test, for my larger baits, but it's definitely a beautiful one for when I need to cast lighter size baits. It really does, as advertised, just casts great. So check that out. New from Daiwa. Definitely check the link if you guys are curious. Also, we see the new Alphas SVT Wing come out. So this is one of the first times that we're seeing the T-Wing along with the SV spool in the Alphas. The Alphas is a small profile reel from Daiwa. It's usually more of like a bait finesse style, but this we see an actual reel that you can put. I think we filled 90 or 100 yards of 10-pound the other day when we went out to test it. Just a great bang for the buck here from Daiwa. So I think we sold out of all of our lefties. We dropped these a couple days ago, so I think lefties are gone for now. They'll be back. Righties, they're still available, so if you guys have been interested in these, we have them available now. I think you guys are really gonna dig them. Check those out, new from Daiwa. Okay, new this week from Valleyhill in the rod segment. We see a new addition to the black scale line. This is the 6.7 LMX rod from Valleyhill. Now this is nicknamed the BWA KO Finesse Custom Rod. So the black scale is a great bang for the buck JDM rod, $2.99. Comes with a year warranty from Valleyhill, beautifully styled and just highly functional rods. This guy is going to be a great all-around 6'7" finesse rod. Here, I'll spec it out for you guys really quick. 3/16 to 5/8 ounce, 8 to 16 pound line, lighter jerk baits, small crankbaits, you know, small walking topwater baits, all going to be great on this guy. So if you guys have been looking for a rod like that, it's a great option and it's very affordable for a JDM rod. So check that out, new from Valleyhill. Also kind of staying in that finesse lane for a minute, Megabass found some in their warehouse, the Huga 6'7" medium light. So the Huga, if you're not familiar, is one of our best selling rods when we can get a hold of them. It was designed for shore fishing, so they've made it durable. It's a pyrophil blank. It's beautiful. It's got that gorgeous purple color, but it's become a favorite for all bass anglers, whether it's from the shore or from a boat. This is a 6'7" medium light, so almost identical to that last rod I just showed you. Let me spec it out. It's 6'7", it's 1/8 to ½ ounce, 6 to 12 pound line. So again, this is going to be a great one for small jerk baits, little heavier bait finesse stuff, small cranks. Definitely check it out. They're only a couple $100, so for a Megabass rod, especially a JDM Megabass rod, it's a great bang for the buck there. And they also found one of our best-selling spinning rods. This is back in stock for now. This is the 6'9" light spin. So again, if you guys prefer a spinning rod over the baitcaster, is available, and they both feature that split grip EVA foam, the nice beautiful kind of carbon lockdown reel seat in that beautiful purple color. Again, I'll spec it out really quick. It's 16 to 3/8 ounce, 3 to 8 pound line, so kind of an all-around use light action spinning rod in that $200 price point. JDM Megabass rod, check them out. Okay, I know a lot of you Loomis fans have been very frustrated with availability this year, as have we. So every time we get a batch, even if it's a small batch, I'm just gonna mention it on these videos so you guys know when things arrive. I know a lot of you have been waiting for the 872 spin. We got a small batch of these in a few weeks ago. They sold out right away. We got another small batch. Okay, so we're seeing droppings just portions of the orders that we're actually getting. So if you see any of these that you've been waiting on, definitely scoop them up. Don't lollygag around because they're gone and then we're waiting again. So if you guys have been waiting on the 872, that's the 7.3 medium fast action spinning rod. There's a few available now. All right, back to Megabass. We also found a small batch of USA Destroyer bunker busters. Now, if you guys remember back to Black Friday, we did a 40% off blowout on the Destroyer bunker busters. We have 20 more available. Okay, we're gonna do the same price, 40% off. I believe that puts them down at $249. First come, first serve. Once they're gone, they're gone. So if you guys missed out before on the 40% off on USA Destroyer, it's just the one model, but it's a great one. 7'7", 3/4 to 1.2 ounce, 15 to 30 pounds. A great all-around jig, you know, tight bottom contact rod. So if you guys have been waiting, grab them. Some available now. And then, just very quickly, we got word this week that all the factories at Megabass are at max capacity and timings are going to get a little bit ugly. We all thought that, you know, product availability last year was difficult. It's going to be a very interesting year this year for 2021. So I just want to give a highlight to some rods that we just brought back in stock from Japan. This might be the last time you see them until summer, believe it or not. So if you guys have been looking for any of these are back in stock now. So we see the TS Destroyer Poker. So this is the 7-foot, 2-inch, kind of all-around use rod. It's a great frog rod, light duty flip pitch rod. You can throw a small swim bait on it. It's a gorgeous rod, but this is gonna be the last time we're gonna see them until summer. So if you guys have been waiting on a poker, definitely scoop that up. We also see a return of a lot of the Destroyer Evolution series, including the Shamrock, which is one of our best sellers. So the Shamrock's a great all-around kind of reaction bait rod. You can throw jerk bait, you can throw top water baits on it, light spinner baits. So we sell a gazillion of them. This is the last run we're gonna see for a while. So definitely pick those up if you guys have been waiting. And then we also see a return of some of our best-selling Valkyrie rods, including the 7-1 medium heavy. And again, this is it. When these are gone, it's summer. So this is kind of our chatterbait, square bill, small crankbait rod. It's back in stock. as well as the 6.9 medium plus, which is kind of the all-around jerkbait rod. Throwing a 110, you know, XA trick darter, 110 plus one. It's a beautiful rod for that. So if you guys have been waiting on any of these, definitely going to want to scoop them up. Otherwise, you're looking at late spring, early summer before those are back. But good news is they're available now. We just unboxed them, so you guys got first crack at it. Haven't even mentioned it until now. So, you know, have a look. Boom. All right, guys, that is a wrap for this week. Thank you all for joining. As always, if you have any questions on anything that we covered, please drop it in the comments below and we will get them answered for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love you to subscribe. It'd make me and Jeff very happy. Jeff will leave links to everything that we spoke about down in the description. As always, on behalf of myself and my family and Jeff and Carmen and John, everybody else around here, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for your business. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. It's always fun to come to you guys. So until next time, peace. Stop staring at my bung, Jeff.